Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. We talked about this a little bit on Saturday night, Goodman. Kansas is a team that's been playing with fire a little bit this season. They've had some games that were closer than they should be. They should have lost to TCU on Saturday night if there wasn't a phantom flagrant one foul called with less than a minute left in that game. And they finally ended up on the wrong side of the final score. Jalen Sellers had 18 points for UCF. Kansas had 18 turnovers, 65-60. UCF gets the win, storms the court. First, or the highest ranked win in program history for UCF.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the bottom line is they have to have Hunter Dickinson have big games. And when he gets in foul trouble like he did tonight, their margin for error isn't big to begin with. You know, they got four guys for the most part. Marco Jackson didn't score. You know, you got DeJuan Harris, you know, it's 5 points. So it's so much on Hunter Dickinson. It's funny because when he was making the decision to choose Kansas, and he had all, you know, Kentucky, Villanova, all these other places, I thought Kansas was the perfect spot for him because, he had a point guard in DeJuan Harris. What he didn't have was shooters, enough shooters. Kevin McCullough's been great this year, but other than that, they just haven't had enough. KJ Adams can't shoot. Timberlake, who we thought could shoot, did shoot at Towson, can't shoot anymore. Again, El Marco, Arterio Morris was supposed to be on this team. He's gone. So, again, is it the perfect fit? I don't know, but what I do know is Kansas can ill afford to have Hunter Dickinson have a mediocre game, especially in the road, and that's what he had tonight.
Yeah, Mac, when you're going on the road in league play, how does that change? What is different about road environments in conference play that makes it so difficult for teams to have success?
I mean, just obviously being out of your element, going on the road, and the only people that you really can count on are the ones in the huddle. And generally that team is loaded for bear. I mean, you look at UCF, one of their first, if not their first Big 12 home game, right? And you got one of the premier programs in all college basketball, in your building. It's going to be a jacked up environment, and it's just very, very difficult to go on the road. You feel like it's just you and the players. You feel like everything's against you. When you're shooting free throws, the building's haywire. When they're shooting free throws, everybody can hear themselves talk. It's just different. Kansas has been through it. Everybody's been through it. But, in the beginning of league play, Rob, everybody is sort of on reset. Nobody right now is, 1-7 in the league. Everybody's got less than 3 or 4 games in league play, and they're all trying to make their mark and maybe reset their season if they haven't had the season they wanted to up to this point.
Goodman, last night when we were talking about Purdue and Houston, the prevailing theory was kind of like, this is going to happen when you get into conference play, right? I gave more credit to Nebraska than anything else. I think they kind of kicked Purdue's rear ends pretty good last night. I think that was more about Nebraska than Purdue specifically. And then Houston going and Hilton Magic, it is what it is, right? You go to Iowa, there's a reason why they have 7 top 10 wins over the course of the last 2 years. But Kansas at UCF feels a little bit different. This was a UCF team that we've all pretty much written off, Jeff. And I'm wondering where you stand now on Kansas, because they are a team that when you looked at them in the metrics heading into this game, KenPom, the Net, Torvik, all of these different computers that I know you hate and you are anti-computer, but they all had Kansas as somewhere in the mid to late teens, and it looks like they might have been pretty prescient here. And Goodman's frozen. So, Mac, if you want to weigh in there on Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jeff said it before. First of all the attention on game planning is going to Hunter Dickinson. And the bottom line is, he can't do it himself. When you're a big guy, you can't necessarily control the game. You can control the glass, but you can't control the game. Guards have the basketball. You're going to have the ball entered to you. And, right now they're not shooting the ball very well. I think they hit 5 threes tonight outside of Hunter, he goes 1 for 3 from the 3-point line. He's one of their best shooters. DeJuan Harris, their point guard, who I think is a terrific playmaker, isn't the greatest shooter in the world. Kevin McCullough's having a great season, but he's not necessarily a knockdown shooter by any means. And KJ Adams is more of an athletic 4 that doesn't really spread the floor. So it's going to put even more pressure on Hunter to get the ball in spots where he can do something with it. I don't think they're the Kansas team that we're used to seeing. Doesn't mean Bill Self can't pull his magic as he usually does down the stretch, but right now I don't think they're ultra talented in comparison to other Kansas teams over the years.
If you had to circle one, Jeff, and welcome back. I'm glad you're back with us. The IQ of this show, the combined IQ, just dropped about 17 points. If you had to say you were more like the most worried about Purdue, Houston, Kansas, or Tennessee, or it's just you're not worried at all, and it's just something where this is what we need to get ourselves prepared for in college basketball in this day and age. Is there anything that you can think we can take away big picture from those top 3 teams that are losing?
Well, I said this, a month, 6 weeks ago. I didn't think Kansas could win the national title. I don't think they can win 6 straight because I don't think they have enough shooting. I don't think they have enough depth. Johnny Furphy's come a little bit, but not as far as I thought he might at this point. I thought he was further along, but physically he's not ready. And again, like you said off the bat, okay, Houston loses to Iowa State at Hilton. No shame, right? I mean, Purdue loses to Nebraska. Nebraska's going to be an NCAA tournament team. They're pretty good. Hoiberg saved his job here. Johnny Dawkins and UCF, I still don't think anything more than an NIT team at the end of the day. Now, Jalen Sellers is great. Darius Johnson, who is SIU guard, Xavier Johnson's brother, he had a hell of a game tonight too. So they played out of their minds tonight. But I think this is more of honestly indictment on Kansas than anything else. I am worried about Kansas. I have been worried about Kansas. I still think they can win the Big 12, but I don't think they can win 6 straight in the tournament. As you saw today in a grinder, which they're going to have to play in some, their defense has got to hold up, and I think they've got good defensive players, but they don't have a ton of depth, and Hunter hurts them defensively.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.